Sharon. Welcome to my YouTube channel. The one thing I know that I am guilty of, easily guilty of, is making a job of hard work out of having a good time. And that is particularly true when it comes to playing music. And so very often the thing that motivates me to play is an exam, towards an exam, or if I'm really busy, it's just the prospect of maybe one day remotely taking an exam in the future. And so I'll choose the music that I play from a syllabus list, or of course I have to practice as well if I'm accompanying for pupils' exams or preparing for a pupil's lesson and so on. And so I very often, although I choose pieces that I love to play, and I do love the music, absolutely, I often make hard work out of just having a good time. Now, I've recently been introduced to a different syllabus, and a piece of music came up that was a soundtrack from the Lord of the Rings in Dreams. And I would never think of playing such a piece. Well, one, I would only tend to choose to play proper piano music, proper as in music that was written for piano. I very rarely play arrangements, and I think the only other time I've played an arrangement is for one of the Jane Austen films. I've played an arrangement on the piano of a couple of pieces there, The Dawn and also My Father's Favourite, which actually do play on the piano in the film as well. But I absolutely love the soundtrack to The Lord of the Rings. And that's because on the one hand, it's absolutely beautiful music. It's just heavenly. The scoring is amazing. It's so beautiful. I just love it so much. But I love Lord of the Rings. I love The Hobbit. I first read the book, this book here, when the twins were babies, actually. What a time to be starting this. And I used to sit and read it whilst they were in their little chairs, dangling a bookmark with a tassel like you would with a little cat, keeping them busy while I was busy reading. So they say it's good for children to grow up with books, don't they? And, we read The Hobbit to them when they were younger. We read lots of books, actually. I really love them. And then, of course, the film came out, the films, and so we delved into those extended versions, and it used to be for quite a number of years a bit of a big social occasion where everyone would come round to our house. We'd lay on a load of food, and the day would just be spent watching the whole of the Lord of the Rings movies, all 3 extended versions. It was quite a marathon. And so the children grew up loving Tolkien, all things Tolkien. My eldest son, beats me hands down actually, because he has read the Silmarillion. I just can't quite get into that. I've read all the appendices of the Lord of the Rings, but yeah, he beats me hands down there. But nevertheless, we grew up absolutely loving Tolkien and the Lord of the Rings movies and so on. So much so, you can see it throughout our house. And so we have the sword Anduril, reforged from Narsil, that's hanging on our wall in the lounge. And the kids did the jigsaws when they were younger as well, so we've got some jigsaws that took ages and ages. I've done a couple of embroideries of different maps. So some years ago when we were on a ferry journey, I started the map of the Shire, and I did that in an embroidery. And then more recently, I did an embroidery of Thorin Oakenshield's map to the dragon and the Lonely Mountain and so on. I did the moon runes in silver thread, which were an absolute nightmare. What else? Oh yes, and over the front door, over in our hallway, my husband's written in elf runes, taken from the illustration from the books, when they're going into the mines of Moria. The elf runes of the password speak, friend and enter, we've written those over our front door. I suppose by rights it should be written on the outside, but the paint would wash off, so it's on the inside. The principle remains. We still just love it. We just still love the whole Lord of the Rings Hobbit thing. And not very long ago, just the other week, my husband just sort of sat down and grabbed his sketchbook and just pulled up an image on his phone and did this fab sketch of Gandalf. And sometimes I just think the quickest sketches are the best. I just love it. It's so atmospheric. So that tells you just how much I love the movie. I love the soundtrack and everything, but I would never ever think of choosing to play the music. And so when this music was brought to my attention, I thought I'll have a go, and I absolutely loved playing it. And it's not the hardest piece. It's reasonably simple actually. There are no scary techniques to put you off, and it's not sort of a great academic exercise, and it's really reminded me to enjoy playing for pleasure. So I've really enjoyed playing that, and I hope that you enjoy the piece of music too, and I hope that perhaps I can share that love of, let's just play music because we love it. Thanks for watching.